Welcome back to Germany to a completely different video to the one I had been planning to make today. We'll be riding this ICE2 set, a train I've been trying to film for 3 years now, but it kept getting changed to a different model. So come along with me and let's check out this 30-year-old high-speed train on a snowy trip from Berlin to Cologne. Welcome to the German capital, which is home to 3.8 million people. Now, the plan today had been to ride the brand new ICE Taugo on this same route, but it was swapped very last minute. Thanks to my friend Paul Lucas for these clips when he rode it on its inaugural trip in December. Link to that video down below. Berlin is a vibrant city with lots to see and do, and I love visiting. Here you will also find the Reichstag, or German Parliament, along with the 18th century Brandenburg Gate, the most well-known landmark in the country. Okay, let's head to the station. The magnificent glass-fronted Berlin Hauptbahnhof opened in 2006 to unify all of the city's main terminus stations. You will find connections to Berlin's tram and bus networks right outside, and the U-Bahn metro and S-Bahn commuter rail on the inside. It is spread over multiple levels and is basically a shopping centre, which also happens to be a station. Large departure boards can be found throughout, with the information displayed in both German and English. Our train today is the ICE 1548 service to Cologne, departing from platform 14 at 7:10 AM. There are 3 levels of all types of shops within the station, as well as automatic ticket machines spread throughout. Platforms 1 to 8 down here are oriented north-south, while platforms 11 to 16 are on the top level with the tracks running east-west. This is also where you'll find the Berlin S-Bahn. The whole station is fully accessible with lifts to all platforms. Just pay attention to the signs, as some only go to certain platforms. We're departing from platform 14 on the top level today, so let's head up there now by escalator. Adjacent here is an S-Bahn commuter train.
28.
Here is where today's fun started, as at this point I still had no idea that my train had been swapped.
7, 10.
It's still even showing the 17-coach ICE Taugo plan on the platform boards. Let's check out today's route before our train arrives. We will head west from Berlin across northern Germany, making 8 intermediate stops before turning south and arriving in Cologne. Here comes our train now, pulling in just a couple of minutes before scheduled departure. It's an 8-car Deutsche Bahn BR402 ICE2 set, the second generation of German high-speed train. These are formed of 1 control car with seating at the front here, 6 intermediate coaches and a power car at the rear today. They have a top speed of 280 km per hour and a seated capacity of 381, with 275 in second class and 106 in first class, where we'll be travelling today. Boarding is not level, with a couple of steps up from platform to train. Speak to station staff if you require use of the wheelchair lifts or ramps. Unfortunately, due to the incorrect platform signage, the first class seats are at the opposite end of the train than was indicated, so we now have to make our way to the rear. First class is in a 2+1 layout with a mix of airline style, bays and solo seats. As it's pretty quiet today, I'm going to take this bay of 4, which has a bit of privacy from the rest of the coach. Let's get settled in, as departure time has now come and gone, so we should be on the move very soon. In the end, we pull out of Berlin Hauptbahnhof around 5 minutes late at 7:15 am. Today's full route to Cologne is 577 kilometers in distance and is scheduled to take 4 hours and 59 minutes of travel time, arriving at 12:09 pm. However, I can't help but feel all these early morning shenanigans with a train swap, no seat reservations and the small delay doesn't bode well for this journey. If you book well in advance, non-flexible super spar price tickets can be bought from €27.99, while second class ones start from €14.99. These are very good value, but can easily be 4 or 5 times more expensive if you need to buy last minute or have some flexibility built into the ticket. That's why whenever I'm travelling lots or for longer periods of time, I'd always recommend getting a rail pass. Klook are sponsoring this video to promote the U-Rail Pass, specifically designed for people outside of Europe to benefit from some huge savings and allowing unlimited travel by train within the covered area. This includes all of the EU, EEA, UK and a few other neighbouring countries. I find that the flexibility one of these passes gives me is worth its weight in gold when it comes to freedom of travel and getting the most out of my trip. Don't forget to check out the hundreds of 5-star reviews from previous travellers too. The U-Rail Pass couldn't be simpler to book through Klook, with a variety of options tailored to how you want to plan your trip, either in continuous blocks or a certain number of days within a given period. Those aged 12 to 27 years old get a big discount on adult prices, and under 11s travel for free all the time. Once you've made your choice, make payment by international credit or debit card and all the details will be emailed to you, and you can load your pass into the easy to use U-Rail app. This is the gateway for planning trips, checking train times and making seat or sleeper reservations if required. It also acts as your e-ticket for inspections. Click my link in the description below and start planning your European train trip today.
654 oder 644 zu warten. Machen sich mal keine Sorgen, bleiben Sie ruhig bei uns, alles gut.
All onboard announcements are made in both German and English.
Good morning and welcome on board the replacement ICE to Cologne. Wish you a pleasant journey. Next stop, Berlin-Spandau.
This was the first acknowledgement that there had been any sort of change on this service, by the way. We then make one more stop at Berlin-Spandau before heading to the outer suburbs and beyond.
Berlin-Spandau, Ausstieg in Fahrtrichtung rechts.
Luggage can be stored on the spaces on the floor at the end of the coaches or on the large overhead racks which run above all seats. There are also stacks in some coaches. It's very cold outside on this early January morning, but it's nice and toasty in here. I have to be careful not to doze off. Free Wi-Fi is available on board, which you must log in through the DB platform. This was quick and easy though. The speeds were pretty good throughout the whole journey, and I could even stream YouTube. Although I don't like getting up for these early morning train rides, the train window views when you see a magical sunrise like this absolutely makes it worth every moment. We are now on the approach to Hanover, capital of Lower Saxony and Germany's 13th largest city with a population of 550,000. This is where the day starts to go wrong. Well, initially anyway. All seemed okay, we stopped normally and people alighted and boarded. And then this incessant high-pitched beep radiated throughout the train. It was so unpleasant that I had to step onto the platform for some respite, which is when I saw the staff member inspecting something under my coach. Anyway, I think in the end they turned the train off and on again, and after about a 15-minute delay, we're on the move again. Okay, let's check out the seats here in first class on board this ICE2 train set. They are really well padded and have a good ergonomic shape to them, along with a soft head cushion and padded and adjustable armrests. The seat can recline by pulling this lever and shuffling the base forwards. Legroom is good even with someone sat opposite, and between the pair of seats you will find two standard European power sockets. The bays have large fixed tables which expand with this fold out flap. A litter bin is also integrated into this. On the wall you will find a couple of coat hooks, and there are reading lights on the underneath of the luggage rack. Finally, the windows are equipped with full closure sunblinds. Overall, a very good first class product, even considering the relative old age of the train. The only difference with the pairs or solo airline style seats are they have tray tables which drop down from the seat in front. With daylight now fully upon us, I'm starting to get a bit peckish, so let's head down to the board restaurant dining car to grab some breakfast. This is located 2 coaches forward from me. There is a full sit-down restaurant with table service and seating for 22 diners. And also a small bar and counter area if you want to order takeaway food to eat back at your seat.
Hello.
I take a seat at one of the empty tables, peruse the menu, and my order is taken here. I went for the grilled cheese and turkey sandwich and a cup of tea. The total price was €11.50. It was absolutely delicious and I enjoyed it while the snowy landscapes whizzed by outside. Now let's check out some more of the train. The accessible toilet is located just beyond the dining car. This also has baby changing facilities. And then just beyond this, in second class, are the wheelchair spaces with companion seats. This coach also houses the family compartment, which is decorated for kids. Then we're into the regular second class seating, which is laid out in a 2+2 configuration, again with a mix of airline style and bay seating. These seats are very comfortable, have good legroom and all the amenities of first class. Unless it's a very small uplift in ticket price to first class, I choose to travel second class on ICE trains most of the time. Next, we call at Hereford, where the gremlins of this train and journey reoccur. We come to an abrupt stop at the platform, and the whole train shuts down for a few minutes. And we just sit and wait some more. A few trains arrive and depart on the adjacent platform, but we don't go anywhere. A long announcement is made in German, but it is not repeated in English this time. We were due to depart here at 9:44, and we finally pull out of Hereford at 10:36, now running nearly an hour late.
Dear passengers, welcome on board the Djsaccess service to Cologne Central Station. My name is Arndt, and if you have any questions, please contact my team or me, who will be glad to assist you. We are 53 minutes late and you will be arriving at Bielefeld at 10:45. We inform you about your next connecting trains as soon as possible. We wish you a pleasant journey.
It was then that the only complimentary offering for first class passengers was handed out, some Deutsche Bahn chocolates. I think we got 2 each as a way of a small apology for the delay. We are now on the approach to Dortmund Hauptbahnhof, the main station in Germany's 9th largest city, which is home to 615,000 people. The platform is rammed, and I assumed the train would now be getting much busier. However, fortunately most of these people didn't board this service. Last year I took on the ICE24 challenge to visit Germany's 10 largest cities by train in 24 hours. I won't spoil the outcome, but you can see how that went by clicking the link in the description at the end of this video. As we head deeper into the North Rhine-Westphalia region, the most populated area of Germany, the snow begins to come down quite heavily and blankets the surrounding countryside. I don't know about you, but I absolutely love a train ride through the snowy landscapes. It's just so magical. Although, from a selfish point of view today, I don't want it to snow too much as I have a flight out of Düsseldorf later this evening.
At 12:59, we inform you about your next connecting trains.
Okay, so as we are now nearing the end of today's journey, let me summarise this trip on board one of DB's ICE2 sets from Berlin to Cologne. Well, they might be old and nearing the end of their service life, but they're still very comfortable trains, whichever class you travel in, even though we didn't get to see them at high speed today on this cross-country route through northern Germany. I'm also a big fan of the Board restaurant, a lovely environment to have a meal and a few drinks with the scenery whizzing by. Obviously, it didn't all go to plan today, and we had quite a large delay due to the couple of failures with the train, but the staff kept everyone informed, in German at least, and then periodically in English too. But all things considered, I still had an excellent trip. I love the approach to Cologne's main station, first crossing the majestic River Rhine, and then seeing the spectacular and imposing Cologne Cathedral in the background. We finally arrive at Köln Hauptbahnhof 50 minutes late, just before 1 PM. Have you been on any German ICE trains before? If so, which ones and on which routes? How did you find them? Let me know in the comments below. I'm always open to new video ideas, so if you have something you'd like to see on the channel, then drop me a DM on Instagram, Blue Sky or Twitter. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching to the end, and I'll see you in the next video.